So we are going to start by drawing the previous week volume profile. This is very important. And you're going to be amazed how well these levels work going into next week or going into the future, depending on when you're watching this video. You would see that this level holds a lot of market price and power. The US session is super important using this level. The Asia session is super important using this level. The US stock exchange deal with this level. That's why it's called the fixed rate volume profile. So let's get to work and I'll show you how to plot it. So what you're going to do is to take your fixed rate volume profile anchor. This is it. And if you want a video on how I get this, it's super easy. It's not even complicated at all. And you're just going to go from the last minute. I usually do this on the 1 minute. 1 minute is best, and I'll give you the reason later, because when it comes to trading view, you have the best accuracy on the 1 minute. Yes. So let's draw. So you go from 454, that was the last candle of this week, which ended yesterday, right? Friday, as you can see, Friday 22nd. So I'm going to draw, I'll keep drawing out till I get to Sunday, the Sunday open, which is very important. That's where we want to get to. We'll draw it out. Make sure you're doing this on the 1 minute, like I said. That's where you get the best accuracy doing this. This shouldn't take us a lot of time at all, but you just make sure you're doing this. And I'll just speed up the video now so that we don't have to go through this. So as you can see, we've drawn from 1659 thereabouts, the last candle on the Friday, back 1 week to the Sunday open. As you can see here, it says Sunday 17th, right? 1800 candle. So now the next step we want to do is to mark the eye. Right, you want to mark the eye. Very important. I already had this done, so I'll just go through my template, and that will be weekly eye. Got that there. So find the POC, point of control, which is a black line. I'll show you my settings in other videos I'm going to make later on. So this will be the best guide for you, okay? So go for overnight, previous week, okay? So we have previous week, and then we'll have the low. If you watch this to the end, it's going to be the best volume profile course you ever watch. Trust me. I'm not at this point selling anything to nobody. So let's go. So this is weekly low. So now that we have all this marked out, we can then go back and I will show you how good this has worked in the past. Let's go back and see. So let's just find one of those levels we marked out in the past. Let's just go price and just find one of those levels we marked out, and you see how good those levels are going into the new week. You'll be surprised how good it is. Now look at this. This is called the fade. So this is volume area I. Okay, as you can see, it's the volume, the fixed range volume area I, as you can see, right, from previous week. So obviously the price was coming from below, came back and decided to break back up, right? That's one simple break test. Tested this line and went back up. Simple entry. I'm going to show you how to enter on this trade, so make sure you're watching this full guard till the end, right? So this is just one level. Let's go again. Okay, so this was another break. As you can see, we had the break, we had the retest, and it went back up. And what did you notice here? There is a fair value gap, right? So as price broke, we tested the fair value gap, went back up. So you can see how good these levels are. Let's keep going. I'll just show you a few more and then we can go on to the next level, the next profile we have to draw on our chart. So look at this again. This is a break. It broke downwards and just kept on going down. Once again, we had that fair value gap around here, touch and went back down. See again, there's a touch here, very little touch. Remember, it's a level, so you should treat it as a level. Sometimes you don't expect it to touch it completely. It might not do that, but even when it does not do that, it gives you a reaction on that level. And you can see there was a trade here we could have taken going forward. So that's how this level works. It's super easy to follow, not complicated. This is how to draw the previous week volume profile, fixed range volume profile. I'm going to show you how to draw the overnight and then the previous day, and I'm going to show you how to trade with it. It's super easy, not complicated at all. Let's go. Let me show you how to do it. So now that we have the previous week volume profile drawn out, I'm going to show you how to draw the overnight volume profile, and I will show you the settings. The same settings we used for the previous week, we're going to use for the overnight volume profile. It's important. Don't worry, at the end, I'll show you entries, how to enter my own indicator I coded for this particular strategy and how it works. You're gonna love it. So let's get on to our chart and let me show you how to draw the previous week. So for the the overnight. So for the overnight, you want to draw from 9 a.m. to the last 18. So let's go find 9 a.m. I'm going to put a simple graphics for you to follow for the timing on when to start drawing them. So this one you're going to draw from 9:30, right? You're going to draw from 9:30 just here, and you're going to take it back to 18:00 the previous day. So we are taking it back, but let me show you the settings first so that you can see what the settings are. So you can see this is the settings I use. Row size majority set it to 1000. I just like to leave it on 777. That's just me, right? So you can see this is the most important part. When you're drawing the previous week, the overnight and previous day, you don't want this ticked, right? You want to make sure it is set like this with this. Okay, total volume, very important, right? So those are the settings. So let's go back, and now we're going to draw this down 18:00 the previous day. because that's where we want it to be. If you watch this course to the end, trust me, you're going to be able to do this yourself, and you understand why it's important. Trust me, you understand why it's important, why you need to learn to do this, and how well it's going to work for you. So without wasting your time, I'm just going to go through and draw it out. So we are almost there. So remember, we want to drag it to 1800, which is this part of our chart. So now we have it at 1800. And now once again, I'm going to plot the lines, right? So this is me drawing in preparation for the new week. If you were drawing, you would have drawn the previous night, right? So make sure you don't forget that. If you have any question, I'm in the comment, just message me and I'll explain it to you in simple terms, right? In very simple terms. So this is overnight eye, overnight point of control, overnight POC, and okay, let's do this. Overnight volume area low. Okay, so we can see the order line did not, so that would be the POC, right? So now we have those three, and once again I'm going to show you how price reacts to that level. Usually we use the previous overnight for the next day. We don't use it for the current day. But if you're going to be trading in the London section, you want to make sure the overnight is a developing volume profile. I'll get to that in subsequent videos. So with this, you can see price reacting especially to this POC level. And for me, with my own style, I really don't like to take trade from here, from the POCs, especially if we have 2 or 3 POCs together, because it's always the cheapest price. You can see it's mostly always the cheapest price on this level. So with the cheapest price, this level, this POC is always the cheapest price. And for me, I don't like to take trades on that level. I rather prefer it to be at the top, the volume area high or volume area low. Those are the places I love it to be for me to take trade. Except, there's an exception, except you have maybe weekly POC and then you have previous day volume area high or volume area low, then it's fine. But when you have double POCs, I don't advise you taking your trade from there. Just wait for it to get to one of those extremes and your trade will work more for you. So we have 2 volume profile now drawn out. We have the previous week, previous overnight, and I'm going to show you the previous day, which is the New York Stock Exchange trading hours. Very important. The previous day, New York Stock Exchange trading hours. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Stay with me. So now let me show you how to draw out the previous New York Stock Exchange trading hours. And for this, remember our chart is on the New York trading time zone. So we're going to start from 4 p.m., which is 1600. 'That's where we want to draw from. Going to start from 4 p.m. Yes, which is this candle, and we're gonna drag out till 9:30 a.m. Don't forget that, very important. 9:30 a.m. That's where we want to be dragging our chart to. 9:30 a.m. So stay with me. I'm not going to speed up this part because I want you to see the way it is done. If you rush any part of this, you're going to miss out on the important part. So make sure you're not rushing the process. And if you want me to do more of these videos, make sure you're helping the video, right? Help the video. If you like this video, let me know and we'll do more of this. So we are close to 9:30. So this is 9:30 here, and we'll just mark that out. So as you can see, we have that marked out on our chart. And now I'm just going to go once again, and I would try to mark out the high, the low, and the POC, right? So before I do that, let me quickly show you what this, because this is the way I did my own settings. So if I go to style, this is how it is for me under style. You're seeing this on your screen right now. So this is how it is. This is how I set my up. So you can follow that for yourself. And once again, extend right is not ticked. So now I'm just going to mark out my levels, and we'll have the 3 most important volume profiles on our chart. Let's mark it out. So we take our marking tool and just mark that out. If you're new and you want me to show you how to do this one-on-one, just let me know down in the comments and I'm open to it. I have a lot of free time for now to show you how to do it. So if that's something you want, let me know. So let's mark this level out. This is the previous day, right? So let's find previous day. I already have all this saved as a template, so that I don't have to go through it daily over and over again. And I will advise you to do the same thing. But the good thing about the previous week profile is that you have to draw it just once a week. Okay, once a week. But then the overnight and the previous day, you do that every day, right? So that's just the only ones you have to update daily so that you know previous days levels. Okay, now let's do this. So now that we have it marked out, as you can see, we have it marked out. Okay, we have it marked out on our chart. Just look at what happened right up here. So if you had this was the previous night, right? This was the previous night. Just see some clean reactions. Okay, it broke down here, went back up and reacted close to the POC and broke down. So I'll just take you to the chart so that you see some for yourself. You see some of the reactions, you see the way it reacts, and then you can just use that for yourself to take trade, right? Super easy, not complicated at all, and that's how it is done. So now in the next video, I'll try and plot for Thursday and show you how you can use this to take your trades. That's fine, right? So I'll show you how to do that in the next video. Stay blessed. Welcome back. Now, assuming we are going into the Friday trading session, right? You want to draw your overnight, your Thursday overnight volume profile, and your Thursday previous hours, previous New York Stock Exchange hours volume profile. Those are the two profiles we're going to use going into Friday trading. Okay, if you trade Asia and you are trading it Friday, for instance, Friday morning, you would have drawn your just concluded New York Stock Exchange hours, which is the 9:30 to 16:00 range, right? And you would have drawn also your Thursday range for overnight, which is 18:00 to 9:30 a.m. So that's the most important volume profiles. And I'll give you one secret for free. No matter the hour you trade, Asia, London, New York, one very important volume profile you should always have is the previous day regular trading hours. New York, 9:30 to 16:00 New York Stock Exchange time. So that make sure that is always set up on your trading view, New York time, right? That particular trading volume profile is one of the important ones you need to have. The weekly is also very strong, and people argue the monthly and the yearly. If you want to draw that, it's fine. But for this trade, I would like to specifically tell you the previous day trading hours, 9:30 to 16:00 New York, and the previous week are two very, very important hours. So now I want to show you some trades I would have taken with this, and then I will show you my own personal indicator I coded for this. Listen, you might not need this indicator. If you know how to find some specific candle patterns, trust me, you might not need this indicator. Calm down. Let me explain something to you. If you go on Amazon, there's a book called Candlestick Pattern. It's a bestseller. And there's a reason why that book is a bestseller, because price really moves with that book. But I'm showing you just one candle pattern in this short course. I coded it myself. If you want it, I'll need to see this video get into 50k views, 1000 likes, and 1000 reshares, and trust me, you get it for free. I don't plan on taking money from anyone to teach this. The world is a good place if everyone makes money, right? So anybody keeping information shouldn't be taken seriously. Yes, in life, everybody makes money from business, but trust me, not everything is business, especially when you have money on the line to risk. Teach first. When people make money, they will surely appreciate you, right? So the appreciation I ask for right now is just sharing this video, share it with friends, So let's go. So as you can see on my chart, we have Thursday marked out. As you can see, this is 15-minute interval, right? And remember I told you should be on 1 minute, but to save time, I'm just going to start with, I'll go to 5 minutes and I'll do it from 5 minutes. And why I'll do it for 5 minutes, that most of my trade, I take them from the 5-minute chart, but I'll show you how this trade look on the 1-minute chart if that's what you prefer, but be prepared for some losses because the 1-minute chart won't be as strong as the 5-minute chart, but you tend to get more trades, right? So it's up to you what you want. So let me just draw the previous New York Stock Exchange regular trading hours. which is from 4. Okay, I mark that in black, from 4 to 9:30. From 4 to 9:30. Right? So that is the first one I'll draw here, and then I'll mark it out. But this time I'll just mark it out with a particular color, and I'll mark 2 levels. I'll just mark the high and the low. So let me do it in pink, right? And I'll mark the low also. And I'll do that in pink, the way it is. So before we go, notice what happened here. Remember what I told you about previous week volume profile? Are you seeing the reaction here? Are you seeing that reaction? And this is the volume area I, not the POC. Remember I told you I don't like taking trade from the POC. So if we have taken it from here, this is what we would have gotten. Fade and back into value. All right. So that's the previous regular trading hours. Let's now go and draw the overnight session also. So the overnight session is from 9:30, right, to 18:00. All you need to do is to watch this video over and over again. If you missed any part of it, just watch it back and you understand what I'm doing. So we're just going to draw this to 18:00. As you can see, I marked it out. So you can see 18:00. You can see that from here. It says 18:00, right? So now I will also mark that out for you guys. And then I'm going to show you some trade taken on Friday so that you understand how easy this works. So this I painted, or I marked the previous regular trading hours in pink. So let me do green here, and I'll just mark 2 levels. Since I don't use the POC to take trade, I'll just mark 2 levels, the high and the low of the previous week, right? So now let's go back to Friday and see some trades that would have been taken. So now you can see this is Friday. As you can see, previous trading hours, you can see this is the dotted line you see here. This is the dotted line. And you can see some clean reactions on the 5 minutes. For instance, we have this, you can call it a doji, but for me, this is a pure manipulation candle. Yeah, and that's what I use. Yes, if you're watching to this point, that's what I use. I use manipulation candles. They're very important. They work. So we see we had the manipulation candle here. So I would have taken my trade here for long. I would have taken my trade here, right? Then you can do one of 2 things. Put your stop loss just underneath the wick. Give it some room. As you can see, I give it enough room to be under this, right? Then you want to target, for me, I target a 1277 arrow. So as you can see, 127. So you can see for me, this is my target. I don't go beyond that, and as you can see, we would have won that here. So you can see my target here. Some people tell you to target 2R. It's fine. Some will tell you 1 to 1. It's still good, but for me and what I'll be using on this channel, is a 1 to 1.7 RR. So that is the first trade. As you can see, we have that there. We took it based on this touch. And if we go through, you can see we had another reaction, but there was no manipulation here. When you want to see manipulation, you want to see this candle close above this candle, which didn't happen, as you can see. But then what happened? We had that test. So if you've taken it there, it would have broken back under and to have done that before it finally broke out again and tested and started going back up, as you can see. Right, it started going back up. There was a test here again, but there was no manipulation candle. But then it went back at least to this level. So you can see, went back to that level. Now I'll just put on my indicator and show you how that would have worked. So let's go and I'll just put it on. Right, so this would have been, and the good thing about this indicator is that it works based on trend. You won't see, for instance, a buy if there's no trend. Like this, there was supposed to be an alert here, but because it was still seeing it as being outside the trend, there was no trade taken here, right? There was no trade taken here. But you can see once you are in an uptrend, you get this green background. You get this green background, so you don't need to go from time frame to check. You just get this green background and you get only buy signals. But you don't just take the buy signal, you want to make sure they are on your volume profile levels. Very important. Okay, yeah, make sure they're on your volume profile level. So this is one here. You can see our price broke downwards, broke back up and gave us a good manipulation candle. The candle took out the low of the previous candle and took out the high, right? Now see what happened after that. If you're taking a long here, putting your stop loss on the low of that candle. I like to put it beneath this triangle here, but you can put it here, but let me just put it beneath this triangle is what I usually do. And I just target a 1 to 1.7 like that. Okay, so you can see it kept on going. If you had taken a break even, you would have been there. If you had targeted beneath this low, okay, you would have been out here. Okay, for a 1 to 1.7, that's what I use. Okay, so you would have been out here. So you can see this was one easy one. Remember, two things were involved. It was this previous trading session. I got the manipulation candle and I took it. And if your stop loss was here, you would have still been in this trade for a while before it broke out. So once you see big candles like this, you might just want to put it at the low. Okay, but if the candle is small, like for instance, we have some really small candles sometimes, like these two candles are small, but these are not trade you should take because they are not on the level, you're not the level. I'm just showing when you have small candles like this, then you should think of putting your stop just beneath it here. But if you have big candles like this or this, then you might want to aim for the low of the candle, right? So now I'll go on to the 1 minute. and show you some trades on the 1 minute, right? Show you some trade on the 1 minute that you would have taken if you want to use the 1 minute, which I don't use. So let's go on to the 1 minute. This is Friday. Let's see from start time how many trades would have been able to take. Also, you can see I have some red line and blue line. Those are levels you expect reactions from, and when you get price reacting to that level, you can take that too. Like for instance, we had the price coming to our level. Remember, this is the level. We had price break and went back up. Would have taken this for a long. Would have taken that for a long trade. Remember when I said the candle, if it's small, we can put the low underneath this triangle, which was there, and we'll just aim for a 1 to 1.7. And you'd have been out of that trade. Okay, so that's one. This was the one we took on the 5 minutes, so I'll just get that out so that we don't get confused. And you can see again, remember uptrend, right? Green background. So we had the breakup, it came down to retest. You know what happens when price breaks a level? It always comes back down before going back up if it wants to go back up. And since this was an uptrend, we got this manipulation candle. If you are taking it here, remember this candle is small, so I will not advise you putting your stop here. You might have just targeted this other low, which was a better low, or you just put your stop underneath this and you would have taken this particular trade. It's not complicated at all, super easy. That would have been a winner, right? So I'll just show you one more example. Let's see if we get, I moved that by mistake, so let's see if we get another one. So you can see how it's reacting to this level also. So those are trades you can also take, but those are advanced trades. I'm just telling you the basics. Okay, I'm giving you the basics. So I think those were the trades for the week or for Friday. I'm not sure I had. Okay, there was 1 year also. There was 1 year also. So we had the break, came back, did some testing, but because it's an uptrend, what do you expect? It expects to keep going. So we take that. You can see if we're taking this one, aiming for this low, this particular low here, this low here, and aiming for a 1 to 1.7, would have gotten that here. So it's super easy. These levels work. They are not complicated. You will like them. Everyone needs to use it. This is what the banks use. This is what top institutions use. This is what brokers use. And if you move with them, with volume profile, with VWAP, you're in money, trust me. I'm going to be making more videos like this. Hope you like this one. I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed.